Hey man, we're going to get to the bottom of what's going on your front side spinners and figure out how we can go and get these a little bit better for you. Frontside 180s are a ridiculously challenging trick. We'll watch through the whole thing and then we'll get in depth. But yeah, frontside ones are no easy thing to do. To the extent that when I did like my front ones at Banger, I just did cab ones because I had a video I was making. So very normal to be struggling with that one, but we'll be able to give you some advice. So what I'm noticing right here is see how your upper body is in a closed off position, and as soon as you switch to your heel edge, upper body is already completely open, holding an open position for a really long period of time, causing it to pre-spin, and then you're snapping with hardly any range of motion left. That's probably going to be your main issue if it's happening on the frontside 360. I'm assuming it's going to be happening, yeah, even more exaggerated on the other tricks. All right. We'll go and start at the front side 180 here. Okay, frontside 180, you actually do a good job of being patient with the upper body. Nice and closed off. Let's see the setup carve. Toe edge. Heel edge. Coming up. Snapping. So, for the frontside 180, you're actually doing just two things. First, you're getting on your heel edge pretty soon. So see how you're like sort of flat base, not very dramatic of an edge angle. Gonna make it a little harder to hold the position. And next, you're actually not getting enough pop straight upwards. Right now, you're going and taking off with this little bit of bend of the legs still. And when this is fine for like a frontside 360, on a frontside 180, what's happening here is your weight's a little bit shifted towards that front foot with your upper body, and because you're a little bit leaned back, it's just not going to pull you over that toe edge. So all you really need to do here to like get a proper front one is more pop and more extension with all these positions, and that should pretty much do it. Think about like a backside 180. You can't really just be like pre-spinning and using momentum. We need to get our upper body up, get it over the toes, and then activate that counter rotation. So a frontside 180 actually takes quite an aggressive pop to go and get a good one. Because we can see right here as you're going and rotating, your weight's just set a little bit over the heels and your weight's a little too over that front foot as your pivot point. So this would work great for like a frontside 360, but a frontside 180, you need more dramatic straight up and down motion, straight over the toe motion to exaggerate it. And that's easier to do with less of a setup carve. Cool, we'll go and look at this frontside 360 quick. I must say though, it's looking really good. Like some of the principles aren't working together quite yet, but it's looking really close. So this one, nice work being patient on closing off, but see how you're on your heel edge and you're going and loading, and getting into a much lower position. This is a big change from like starting the heel edge position to entering it, and it's going to make it harder to channel your energy. So I want you to be in a much more similar position here as you are here. So you're spending less time loading into it. That said, you're doing it smoothly, so it's not too problematic. But if we really zoom in here, we can see that because you're going and using this time to go and crunch down, your chest is already really opened, and so are your hips. So even though you're being really good body posture of hinge and everything, because you're going and having your chest open, you just don't have much range of motion to work with. So as you go and snap the spin, now you've thrown a little bit, you're staying still. See how your upper body's stationary, not continuing momentum. And because your head's open looking here, your chest is open looking here, hips are open here, you're getting this pre-spin. So you're basically going from too open up of a position, opening up even more, and now you're trying to snap and use your range of motion. Your actual like takeoff angle of your upper body and positioning of the board and everything is all really good. It's just the fact that you're not going and channeling the momentum all the way through. If you went and came in with this upper body position right here and then continued snapping all the way into that position off the takeoff without delaying and adding more up and crouching down, it would be a really fantastic frontside 360. For the actual air itself, let's go and give this a look. So spotting nice in front of you, continuing that spot, holding it down there, and then looking downhill. What's normal on the airbag? Airbag, you really don't want to land toe heavy, so I'm going to assume that if you wanted to, you could hold the blind landing longer there. So this one, it's a lot more apparent, a lot more exaggerated. The first thing I want to note is you're probably closing off your shoulders too soon here. This is a great shoulder positioning, but we only want to enter this after we hit our heel side position. So you're going and having your shoulders closed off, and then as soon as you go and switch to your heel edge, you're already opening your upper body. So we want to go and keep a little bit more neutral of a position, heel edge, and then once we hit the heel edge, like right here, now we want to be closing off the upper body. So you're just letting yourself open as you're switching edges, and that's what's throwing you off right now. And that's why you're getting like this pre-spin, because you just don't have the range of motion, you're pre-opened, and it's going to cause you to like pre-rotate. Considering all that, it comes around really nice, but that's why it doesn't feel quite as smooth, and you're not getting like clean energy up and down, and that's just because you don't have a range of motion to play with. Frontside 540, same thing here. See how you're going positioned here, and instead of snapping through it, you're crunching down into your body posture, and now you're trying to snap up from a different position. And as you're snapping here, you're coming up just a little bit too tall over your heels, and we can sort of see that this arm's dropping downwards. So this isn't going to work for a frontside 540, because as you come and rotate it, it's going to make you come and land on your heels, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So what you actually want to be doing here is, again, the setup carve, we're going to need to dial that in no matter what. But when you're snapping a frontside 540, you can't have as much pop being sent up over top of your heel edge. If you're throwing over your heel edge off the lip, it's going to be no good. So we actually need the upper body more exaggerated, pulled forward. So that way, as we pop our spin, we're popping it over our toe edge. So that way, as you come and get up, you don't get this slight dip backwards here. Because if you were dipping backwards here, we'd have to take this arm, pull it and exaggerate, and just try do everything to like get it onto that toe edge. And it's just going to be really hard. So yeah, more over the toe edge off of a takeoff will be easier when we go and fix the lip. I'm assuming this front side 720 issue is going to happen from the same thing. So you're coming up, snapping the front side 720, and yeah, we can see you're doing a good job holding the upper body closed here, but if we zoom in super close, your hips are a little bit open already, and your chest is open angled here. So you're not actually going and getting a nice like aligned position in the snowboard. You're going and taking this hand and pulling it, but you're not going and having the shoulders match it, the hips match it. So as you go and snap, you don't actually have that much room for rotation. And then you go and have your hips and like everything catch up to that position your upper body was in, and now you don't have any rotational energy being continued through, and now you're trying to snap it, and as you're popping up, we're seeing the same things, shoulder dropping down, lifting up a little bit to set over the heel edge, and then it doesn't have that fluent across motion, and instead it's a little bit too much being sent like upwards and dippy towards that heel edge, and that's why as you're coming in, you're getting this slight little bit of cork flip, and that's just because you have too much up and down dynamics. And you could have actually went in, probably got a 720 around with this, but the issue is you're making it so you're reliant on getting the full rotation to not catch heels, and we never want to be putting ourselves into that serious of a situation. Alrighty, we'll go and end this off by breaking down one of... Alright, we'll end this off by breaking down one of my frontside 720s. I'll just play it full speed at first. You can see it's a subtle motion, it doesn't need to be too precise, and like a frontside 720 is honestly such a flexible trick as soon as you get the things going right. So first thing I'm doing is, as I'm coming up to the feature, see how my hips are squared, chest squared, all in line with this angle of my snowboard, pointing towards the corner of a jump. Then as I one sec, it's laggy, let me pull that back. Then as I transition to my heel edge, I'm heel edge, and now I close off my upper body. So I'm like, what, 2 board lengths away, and I'm just closing off my upper body now. Now I'm getting myself throwing it, and that just lets it so I can go and throw it the whole way through. And notice how as I'm snapping here, my upper body's coming up a little bit, but the most important thing I'm doing is making sure that my weight's staying set over my toe edge. because we really want that rotation to be set over at toe edge and coming clean for the body. So I'm not trying to actually throw, and you can see my back shoulder isn't dropping, my front shoulder isn't lifting. Instead, it's coming straight, clean across. If you want to get a good flat spin, you need good flat power. So be patient on this upper body. Make sure that you're closing off, keeping your shoulders and everything squared as after you hit your heel edge, and then try to channel the same rotation speed with your upper body the whole way through until your tail snaps off the lip, with the focus of trying to keep that hinge in the upper body, keep the throw flat, and make sure that the shoulders stay level while keeping your weight over your toe edge. And when you do that, it should just flow together with the mechanics a lot better, and ideally, you'll ride away landing a super good frontside 720. Play it back one more time in slow-mo for you. So coming in, squared position, getting onto that heel edge, now closing off my position, and now I start to snap it, keeping my shoulders square, keeping my upper body over the toes, continuing it the whole way through, and because I went and kept my shoulders like that the whole time off the lip, now I can go and reach for that grab pretty early and tuck the shoulders down, and it really just doesn't matter that much. So yeah, let me know if that makes sense, and if you need any more feedback, just let me know.